Hello everyone, my name is Arun and I'm solutions architect with Novintech, which is one of the best organization to work with. And today we are going to describe Microsoft Entra ID Protection. So let's get started. In order to understand this, let's try to portray some diagram. Okay, let's suppose there is some resources that need to be accessed by a user, and these resources could be anything, right? Let's suppose, just for the understanding, these are applications, could be your Azure portal, could be your Teams, anything like that. And here is the user. Now this user would like to access the application. So how will this guy will access the application? He will just type the user ID and password, and it will get authenticated with the help of Entra ID, and this guy can access the required application. That's how it usually works. Simple and straightforward, right? But the problem is there are security concerns, there are security issues. People are ready to break your password, people are trying to impersonate as you utilizing your ID. They're like threats around here, right? So in order to solve this simple authentication mechanism to access any application, we would like to add some protection here, and that protection is Microsoft Entra ID Protection. So what would happen if we use Microsoft Entra ID Protection here in between? So in that situation, this ID and password, these will be audited by your Entra ID. How exactly audited? Let me just try to clarify, because Entra ID Protection is a cloud-based security service, right? That helps detect and respond to identity related risk, because that's what it is. Entra ID Protection. So what it is protecting? It's protecting your identity, right? That's what it is doing. So when you tries to sign into any application, Entra ID Protection, this guy will analyze the sign in using a real time offline data from trillions of signals it checks for, right? They, because Microsoft has a huge database. Okay, Microsoft has a huge database. So let me put it here. MS has vast threat intelligence uh, data, and of course with the help of ML and AI, it try to identify suspicious behavior. Okay, and why Microsoft has that much of data? Because Microsoft is a vast organization that it just keep on getting all those kind of signals from everywhere. So it maintain that secure data, your threat intelligence, and whenever it finds anything suspicious in your ID or credentials, it acts. It will let you know something has gone wrong. So what exactly is happening here? There is two things which is happening here. What are those two things? Your sign in and your user risk. These two things are happening here. Let me write it down. So the user risk, and there is a sign in risk. You'll be wondering why these are different, because user risk means your user has already been compromised, or sign in risk means when this guy is trying to sign in, that particular sign in has some kind of suspicion, like impossible travel or anonymous IP address or password spray attack, those kind of things. So these things would be checked by Entra ID Protection with the help of Microsoft vast threat intelligence, machine learning, and AI on a real-time analysis. All right. So how exactly this happens? Well, when user enters the try to sign into the application, ID protection analyze the sign in using real time and offline data from trillions of signals. So what it is doing, it is analyzing. Okay. And with the help of analysis, what it will do, it will check for certain things like whether it is impossible travel, like accessing from India and within 5 minutes accessing from US, which is impossible travel, or anonymous IP, like these are those IPs coming from a VPN or Tor network. So they have all those information. If request coming from those IPs, it will get alert, right? Password spray attack, is the user account being targeted with a massive brute force attack, right? Or credentials are leaked, right? Leaked credentials. All these things will be monitored, checked real time, okay, with all the data that Microsoft has. And on the basis of all that information, on the basis of all this information, they give it a secure score. In what sense? I'll tell you. Secure score. Now this score is depend on three things. What are these three things? High, medium, and low. Okay, high, medium, and low. As per secure score, the risk is divided into high, medium, and low. And as per the risk, the action would be enabled through the policies. If the risk is high, we may like to block the sign in. Okay. If the risk is medium, we may like to MFA or reset the password. Okay. Or if risk is low, we may allow this time, but uh, keep log for monitoring, right? Logs it for monitoring so that we are aware something is happening. So that's how is this the risk is remediated. If the user successfully completes the MFA challenge or reset their password, the risk on their account is automatically cleared or removed. So this protects the user without needing an administrator to intervene. That's why Microsoft Entra ID is an automated process. So if we have to define what is Microsoft Entra ID Protection, it is a cloud-based security service that help you detect and respond to identity related risks in Microsoft Entra ID. That's what it is. All right. Now, what are the different kind of risk we have already seen, like impossible travel, anonymous IP, password spray, sign in, leak credentials, all those things, and the kind of actions we can take? We can block it, we can reset the password request, MFA, and alerting the admins like logs and all. So that's what the Microsoft Enter ID is in a nutshell. And to utilize it, we need a P2 license. Now, if we just need to explain you what is user risk and what is sign-in risk. I know till now you have pretty good idea, but for the sake of this video, let me tell you what is user risk. It's it's the user account that customer has. Oh, sorry, user has. It's they're talking about user account, the leaked credentials. It doesn't matter whether they are signing in at that point in time or not, because Entra ID has those credentials, and in the database, in the Microsoft vast threat intelligence, if those credentials are find out with the help of this AI and ML, which is running all the time, it can let you know your credentials are leaked. So those are user risk, right? And sign in risk when it is happening. It is a sign in attempt. On the sign in attempt, that it is not legitimate sign in attempt, right? So this is what the Entra ID protection, Microsoft Entra ID protection is. Let me try to show you on the. All right, now I'm on Azure. I'm gonna type here ID protection. Yeah, this is Microsoft Entra ID protection. I'll click here, identity protection, and here are the risk policies and impact analysis. Here we have user risk policy, sign-in risk policy, and multi-factor authentication registration can also be done through here. With the help of these conditional access policies, we can apply the conditions. For example, the security score is low, high, or medium. Accordingly, as per the condition met, we can have either MFA or reset password or block. So from here, all these things would be implemented. I hope it was informative. Well, thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye bye.